back at it with another color tutorial for you today. My client today wants to be a more natural, low maintenance blonde. At the moment she is platinum blonde on the ends with a bunch of regrowth, but she actually has natural regrowth, color, and then platinum blonde. So I'm going to be mixing up about 3 to 4 different formulations on how to conquer this color and make it just a pretty natural lived-in blonde, still bright but more blended. So if you are interested in watching this, stay tuned. Okay, so I am starting off by mixing up my lightener, and I'm just doing Redken Flashlift with 20 volume. Now I am mixing up her Lowlight color, and this is going to be Goldwell Colorance 6N, 7N, 8GB, and the reason being is the 8GB is going to give us a little warmth, and the ends are going to make it so it doesn't go too warm. This is going to be her paint between shade, and it is shade CQ 6N, 5NW. So as you can see, we are working with a few different tones. We have a few inches of her natural grow out right here, then we have faded color here in the mid shaft, and then her pre-lightened ends. So that's why we did mix up 3 different formulas so that we can counteract this and handle it the best way possible. This is the parting that I'm doing. I have 2 sections in the back, and then I have a mohawk and 2 sides in the front. The main goal with her hair is to brighten her up a little bit, but to also give her some rooty dimension. She's been pretty platinum for a while, but she does have some regrowth and a grown out root smudge, and she's wanting that to look less solid, more blended, with some depth in her face to give her skin a little more color for fall. So you guys have seen me do videos doing a foil conversion where I paint the color right on the scalp and then balayage around it and also add in low lights. And that is definitely one way to achieve a result like this, but I also like to do it this way, and I go back and forth between the 2 methods. So I wanted to film this video to show you guys that I can also get that balayaged rooted look while using foils. And we are going to be using foils today just because I want it to look really blended. I still want the look of baby lights, but I do want depth at the root. So what I am doing is I am doing 2 bleaches to 1 low light, and with the bleach I'm just knocking through that mid shaft where she had the banding of old color and feathering up into the root. I'm not going all the way up to the scalp, I'm just balayaging up to the root in a foil, and then with the low light I do go all the way down because I am wanting to add depth in between her blonde to break it up a little bit and give her ends some solid dark color. And the reason that I am doing levels 6, 7, 8 for the ends is because her ends are a little more porous, so they are going to suck color up really well. And that's another reason we are using demi, so that it's not too permanent if she wants to go back, and so the color doesn't suck up too crazy. And I'm doing a paint between of levels 5 and 6. So I always do 1 level darker on the root, 1 level lighter on the ends, just because her ends are so blonde and porous. So right here I am doing that paint between, and I am using shade CQ 6N, 7NW. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. No, 6N, 5NW, because like I said, it's going to be darker at the root and then lighter at the ends. So I'm just doing this paint between to break up that harsh root color, and I'm just feathering it down in between the foil as you can see here. And then as soon as I'm done doing that, I'm actually going to take a comb and comb through it all. And that way I just get any splotchiness and I just blend it out really nicely. So combing out that paint between is just another step to ensure that everything is very blended, and I am all about blending. This is what the back looks like as she is done processing, and now we are going to move towards the front. I am doing a mohawk sectioning on her, and I'm starting this first one by going all dark. So this is my low light formula, and I'm just taking it down through her ends. When doing low lights, it's very important to remember that saturation is key, especially when working with blondes. Their hair is so porous that a lot of times it has a hard time taking color. So you have to make sure you saturate, saturate, saturate. Now I'm going to be doing a highlight, and I'm just taking my lightener, feathering it in that mid shaft, and then feathering up as you can see here. And I'm not taking it through her ends at all. Her ends are already so blonde. We're not looking to lighten her. We don't need to lift her any more than she already is. We're actually just going to be toning her ends a more of like a pearly blonde, so that's a little more natural looking. So we are just focusing on getting that root very blended today, nothing on the ends. Around her face, we are going to be doing slicing, taking it all the way up to the root. And the reason for this is if you don't do a money piece of some sort, it's just going to look like regrowth since you're doing a rooted look. This is what makes it look very sun-kissed and brighter around the face. So I'm just taking 2 angled pieces, as you can see here. I did one on the right side. Now I'm going to do one on the left. And this is just going to ensure that no matter which way she parts her hair, she's going to have a money piece on each side. So these are just slices, and I'm just feathering down towards the bottom. And then I will do one more slice right in between those 2 money pieces in the center, as you can see here. And then after that, I'm just going to switch back to doing baby lights with the lowlights and highlights. Now, since we just did all of those blonde foils back to back, I am adding a dark one in right here, and it's because the contrast of the dark against all of those light pieces is going to make it really pop, and it's going to look so pretty. She is all done processing, so I am just pulling her foils now. We let her process about 35 minutes, and that gave the color enough time to process as well as the blondes. And I just wanted to show you guys what her foils look like as she is done being processed and we are rinsing them out. You can see that the highlights are pretty blonde, the paint between and the lowlights oxidized very beautifully, and I am so excited to start the root tap. So I just wanted to walk you guys through the process of what the shampoo, root, and tone looks like with a color like this. So I am just rinsing all of her color out, and I want to get all of the residue out that I can. And then I'm going to be using Kevin Murphy Maxi Wash, and this is just going to wash her hair, but it kind of helps detox it a little bit too, just so that I get all of the bleach residue and color residue out of her hair. And then once that is rinsed out, I am going to be using my Truplex number 3, and I am just going to be putting this on her end so that she can sit in a little treatment while I do her root color. And with that Truplex number 3 still on her ends, I am just going to be combing through her hair, and then I am going to T-part her and get her ready for the root tap. Now I am just using 6N Shades EQ to do her root color. It's the same color that I had on her paint between, just minus the 5NW because we don't need that warmth on her root area anymore. And she did pull pretty well. If she had pulled warmer, I would have added in an ashier tone, like a 6T, a 7P, but she pulled pretty well. So I'm just doing this 6N, and as you can see here, I'm just tapping it on her root and blending down a little bit. And this is just going to soften all of our colors. Since we did have 3 different colors we were working with, it's just going to give it a very soft, blended look. The key to doing root colors at the bowl, whether it's a root smudge, a root tap, a root shadow, is always combing it through. You guys know I love my Sam Via wide tooth comb. I also love the Wow comb, but this is just going to ensure that everything is very blended and there's no splotchiness. Ah, this is my most favorite part. Look how beautiful this hair looks. It's all combed through, and we are just going to let it process for about 10 minutes. Alright, so I am actually rinsing her root color out, and I get this question a lot, whether I leave it on or rinse it out, and it kind of just depends on the client, but this was sitting for about 10 minutes, so I am rinsing it out, and then I'm just toning her ends with Shades EQ 9P 9N. Now it is time to dry and style her. The result is so beautiful, you guys. I'm so happy with how it turned out. This is honestly one of my favorite techniques for achieving a look like this because it's very soft, very blended, and I do feel like my clients can go anywhere from 4 to 6 months before coming back in for another service. And I just love that because who doesn't love low maintenance, right? If you guys have any questions about this color or how I achieved it, please let me know in the comments below. Or if you have any tips and tricks yourself, let me know as well. I am always wanting to learn how you guys would do things. We are actually going to be adding extensions into her hair in a couple of days. So if you would like to see part 2 of this video with extensions, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I appreciate all of your likes, your comments, your views. It means so much to me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day.